Hi.
Oh, hello. I know some of you guys are already in winter, but it's still fall here, and there's always a project that I've had on my mind since like last year, and I just really want to do it. So today we're going to be making a delightful, cozy, adorable little autumn dragon, and it's just, oh, I'm so excited. But wait, before we hop in, the time has come. Time for your wonderful adventure to start, that is. And when going on an adventure, everybody needs a little sidekick. So I present to you the roundest, the goodest, and derpiest companion you could ever ask for. Sparkle, sparkle. You need to distract someone? Roll him on over. Need a fighter? Well, he volunteers. Must have been the wind. You need a buddy to just be there. He's already on the couch waiting with a blanket. Make sure you get him before he's gone, as he is only here for a limited amount of time. I'm just saying Christmas is coming up, so. Okay, let's go.
To start, we're gonna need some wire, a felting mat, various fall leaves, some wool, and stabbies. Thanks to somebody sharing their brain cell with me, I decided it might be a good idea to do a little test dabble before jumping right in. You can't forget your anti-stabby gloves, but then just immediately not use them.
Oh my God. What is that?
I'm double jointed, okay? I know it looks weird.
I like how I'm using every finger but the one that I actually put protection on. Oh, I already broke a needle. Thank God I bought so many.
Nah, we're gonna need a replay of that.
See, that would have hurt.
That would have hurt. Like she getting firm. It's just like, how far can you take it, and how far like should you take it? I just have no idea what I'm doing, and this is why you dabble. Dabble before you deep dive. I am dabbling like a good noodle.
And if I hurt myself now, hopefully I won't hurt myself later.
I totally believe that.
Hey, I probably hurt myself a little less than the actual number you're thinking of.
Guys, I made a ball.
And I think I'm gonna glue a piece of wire in it and then just see how it bends. I feel like that's the next test, because if it doesn't bend well, I think what I'm gonna do is bake a little ball of clay. When I move the head, that'll move with it, and then it'll be like a little bit more structurally sound. The only thing is that sounds like it's gonna be a nightmare to try to felt around, but it's for the sake of art.
I don't understand a word you just said.
Okay, I did glue in a piece of wire, and it's not bad. It does bend. Maybe when there's like a full body, it won't twist as much as it is, since this is just like a little ball and some wire, you know, but I think it will work. I think I just need to be need to make it super dense. So let's start, surprisingly, with armature time, except it's with wire, so, you know, not really armature time? I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna start out with how big I want it to be, so I'm gonna use just some printer paper. I'm gonna go print out a sketch, and then we'll make wire from there. We'll make a frame at armature time. Okay, let's go. So here is a rough little sketch of the vibe I'm going for. And so this is just gonna help me make a wireframe and be just a little bit more accurate to what I want the end result to be. Let's break out this wire. Why is there always some fur or fluff when I'm trying to get good shots? Always just some fluff.
Basically, I'm just using the drawing as a guide for where I should bend the wire to match the body shape I'm going for. It's just, wire is not as interesting to watch as armature time.
It's a little bit long for some legs, but just give it a little trim. I want the back legs to start like here. I bend it so that I know where to. I'm smart, see? This video is about how smart I am. Think of me being smart. Okay, continuing the smart train. I figured that it might be a good idea to have some sort of base before I start using like all the colors that I want to do. And I just happen to have a very big supply of quilt batting, and it's very fibrous and it's very rough that I think it'd be a great base for needle felting to adhere to. So that's what we're gonna do. This is all new territory. She don't know nothing about this stuff.
And so the travelers from posable Artopia moved to New Needle Feltington.
I am gonna add an extra wire, and that is just to hold the future wings in place, because I always forget. Again, because we're being smart. I'm gonna have to make a smart counter. We're being mindful. All right, it's time for the scary part. I think I actually have to start needle felting.
Okay, I can do this. I can do it.
This is probably gonna be the main body. It's the lightest brown, and then I just have like gradients. Be the bodies, the gradient to the legs, and then also I can airbrush, you know, obviously, but I think this will work out well. I'm just scared to start, but I gotta do it. I gotta start it. I've already committed. Gotta do it.
The stars are not in position for this tribute.
Like he says, stars. Can't do it. Not today.
Man, the apprehension is just so palpable. I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gently stabbing like...
Go wrap it.
And stab it. Wrap and stab.
PSA, don't felt into your felt mat.
Okay, so I'm trying the method where I like make a mat first and then maybe attach it to this. I did the roll method and it's not bad, but you know, I'm gonna see if this works better.
Stab it, stab it, stab it, stab it.
Hold on now, gotta put on her protection. She's getting close to her fingers. Yeah, I can tell already that this is a lot more firm. God, how many of these are I about to break? There's like 3 left. When I go slow, I break it. So here's the thing. You saw how earlier I said how smart I was? Well, wrong. This quilt batting? Horrible idea. It made it incredibly hard to felt. And I made it even worse by thinking it was a great idea to put some yarn around it to keep it all in place. Also bad. And you know what was even worse? I decided to restart the project halfway through because it was too small. Look at the size difference. But you know what? This tool right here, this tool saved whatever sanity I had left. It just made felting so much easier, and it's just the real MVP. I love you. I love him. All this brings us to here. And in an actual smart idea, I decided to use all the random colors of wool I had as a base so I didn't waste all the main color I was going to use. Looking back now, it's crazy how optimistic and happy I sounded. Now look at me. I'm bitter. Okay, let's move on.
My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why.
You know, making art dolls for a living, I really thought that I had patience, but this really taught me that I have no patience whatsoever. And let me tell you what this type of project needs. Ooh, a heck of a lot of patience.
Circus, Afro circus, Afro circus, Afro polka dot, Afro.
Even though it felt like I was stabbing my life away, the shape was really coming together, and of course, with patience and time, it was really starting to shape up. To try to prevent a drastic line between the two colors for the gradients, I tried to like blend pieces of wool together to try to make like an in-between color. I ended up just airbrushing it, but you know, at least I tried. For what it's worth, it did pretty much do what I was trying to set out to. It's just, you know, maybe not quite as blended and gradient as if I used the airbrush, which I said, you know, I just end up using later on. But you know, hey, this video is all about just trying new things and seeing what works and what doesn't. At the very least, it was satisfying to get rid of the very random colors that his body originally was. With the body mostly shaped, it was time to give this guy eyesight. I decided to use little itty bitty glass cabochons, but I learned that in order to like add the eyes in, you want to stab one spot over and over and over again, so it makes like a little dent that you can actually just add the eyes into that. So that's what I did.
It's almost a perfect little hole. Who is she? Now, can I make it match on the other side? That's the question here.
It may have taken a few tries, but I did eventually get them even-ish.
Now maybe I want the bigger eye.
I end up not using them.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
You did, but you didn't like it.
I'm realizing, like, the front of his face kind of covers it, but if I use the bigger eye, it has a little bit more give.
Yeah, none of this matters because you use the little ones anyway, and the eyes change so much throughout the rest of these few clips, so sorry. But I smooshed the eyes in with a little bit of hot glue to keep them in place. I then gingerly tried to needle felt some eyelids in, but let me tell you, this also didn't really work well, and they kind of just end up being the whole circle vibes that they are right now, so. But again, I tried. Didn't work, but I tried. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a little felted body. Now, is he a little bit lumpy? Yes. A little bit bumpy? Yes. But we don't strive for perfection here, okay? We strive for good enough. And my friends, that is good enough. But now, I just want to work on the gradients a little bit more. So, of course, like I mentioned twice, I'm breaking out the airbrush. Now, this part you can't really see, but I'm telling you about it anyway. I wanted to airbrush the same color of the wool just so that all the fibers kind of blended in, because I'm sure some random colors are still in there and stuff, just to make it a little bit more uniform. Then we break out the dark colors just to make that gradient a little bit more of a gradient. Okay, I read somewhere that you were supposed to trim the fibers when you were done, but Sarah says that I just did it because I was impatient. So, somebody validate me that this was the right choice. It's leafwing time. It sounds so stupid. Leafwing! I trimmed the leaves down a little bit because they were a bit wide and they kind of covered most of the body when they were the full, like, 5-prong shape. The little 5-leaf shape. So I just cut it down to the 3. But then I end up going back and I add more later. I just kind of make it so that it's still not as wide, but I wanted to have a little bit of something else than just that leaf bit right there that you see. As normal, I am always over dramatic and add more. Always more. Maximalist. Always. Then I just continue adding little leaf bits all over. I just wanted all the fall vibes all over this little baby. Just all the leaves, all the precious things. All of it. A dragon wouldn't be a dragon without horns, of course, so of course I dug back into my driftwood collection and broke out another few pieces. Best purchase I ever made, you guys. They are usually grayscale, so I like to do a little bit of a brown wash just to bring a little bit more life back to them and, you know, make it match the dragon a little bit better. I plan to needle felt around them to blend them in better, but just to keep them in place for a little bit, I tack them on with some hot glue. This took so long. Now all that's left is to add the little tiny details like leaves and these adorable mushrooms that Sarah made. And with the last little shroom added, this little adorable bean is all done. And while it definitely tested my patience and endurance, I am quite happy with the end result. Which means it's time to look at the final montage. Let's go!